overview of the programs that are within my area. One of the program, or several of the programs that are in my area are business and economics. Within that, we have the Associate of Arts degree, which is designed to be a transfer degree in business administration. We also have the Associate of Science in Business Management and the Associate of Science in Accounting degrees. For economics, a student that would be wanting to major in economics, we would advise them into the business administration route, as they would still get all of the economics courses that go with that program. Another area that's within mine is criminal justice in the law enforcement academy. Criminal justice is the Associate of Arts degree and is designed more for the transfer route. And then we have the Associate of Science at the Law Enforcement Academy at Imperial. And with our reorganization, I had criminal justice prior, and I picked up law enforcement with the reorganization, and I was even unaware of the differences in the law enforcement degree and their tracks that they have. The Law Enforcement Academy has 2 tracks. You have to be 21 years old to get into the post-certified program. And we have a built-in cohort model. For anyone that comes in without a degree, they would go for the Associate of Science in Law Enforcement, and they would receive that degree as well as their post-certification. Students who come to college before 21, who know that they want to be a police officer, they can go for the Associate of Arts in Criminal Justice or an Associate of Arts in really any area. And then when they reach 21, they could do the post-only certification. So they wouldn't have to go back, take general education courses. They would have their degree, and then they would go in and add in the post-certification to be a police officer. I'm also over the Culinary Arts program, and we offer that through the area technical school and at the college level. Starting this school year, we changed, it used to be Chef 1, Chef 2, then 3 and 4. And when the students would leave high school, they would apply retroactively to get credit for the Culinary Arts 1 and 2. So starting this school year, we've actually put them into Culinary Arts 1 and 2 for their first year. And their second year, they'll get Culinary Arts 3 and 4. So those students are actually getting the college credit now, rather than having to go back and retroactively add that credit in. Within the education department, we have the Associate of Science in Early Childhood Education. We offer those courses through the ATS and at the college level. And then we also have the Associate of Arts in Teaching, designed for people going for teacher certification. Ken Boning is our faculty member in that department, and he works with the universities to make sure that the students are taking the courses that they need for a seamless transfer into those programs. Also with the education department, we've been talking with a couple different school districts. I believe Hillsborough will be offering some of our education courses starting in the fall as dual credit. And I believe we're talking with a few other districts about the possibility of adding some of those education courses as a dual credit starting in the fall of next year. Then back up to the Imperial campus, we have the EMS program up there. And we also have Fire Science within the EMS and Fire Science programs. The Fire Science we offer through the area technical school only. And the students leaving that program have their firefighter 1 and 2 certifications. And then the EMT paramedic program, the EMT is a 1-semester certification. They would go through, take their courses as a cohort group, and they have their EMT certification. In an ideal world, after that first semester, they would go in and take their gen eds that second semester and their prereqs, and then their second year get into the paramedic program. So they would graduate within the 2 years and have their paramedic degree. And I know that some of the area high schools have utilized the evening EMT program in the past for some of their high school students for dual enrollment, especially ones that are in the fire science program. They know that they have to have that EMT certification. And we do have the evening program that we offer at Imperial for EMT in the fall semesters right now only. And if demand were to grow, we could possibly look at adding an evening section in the spring. And then the last areas that are within my department are psychology, sociology, and social work. All of those are within the Associate of Arts degree and are designed for transfer. And then we also have the social work endorsement. So someone wanting to become a social worker would go through and take a set of courses that are setting them up for seamless transfer for that social work degree once they transfer. And those are the programs within my area. So I would be happy to entertain any questions if there are any.
All right, and so in order to keep this moving, if you have questions, let's put them in the chat, and then I can help field those if you would like. And so then we will move on to School of Humanities with Dr. Michael Booker.
Good morning and welcome. Dr. Michael Booker here, and I do want to talk very, very quickly about what we offer in the School of Humanities. This is one of our 4 academic areas at Jefferson College. You can see a list on the slide in front of you of the different programs that we offer in the fine arts and communication and other areas like foreign language and philosophy. If we could move to the next slide. One of the major functions that we serve, of course, we manage general education that's taken by pretty much all the students here at Jefferson College. We also do look for the Associate of Arts degree as a primary function. This is the 2-year degree, of course, that allows students to transfer over to the 4-year institutions. And I just wanted to put a plug in here for something called Core 42. This was a statewide initiative here in Missouri that made sure that courses transferred properly. So if a student has A+ and they come to us for their first 2 years and they're planning on a bachelor's degree, we can actually direct them. We have it in our catalog, all the classes which are guaranteed by the state of Missouri to transfer to other state institutions. And I will say also a lot of the private institutions are getting on board and signing up with Core 42. It allows for seamless transfer of the hours that they're taking. And I think this is just a very good plan for anyone who's looking at a bachelor's degree program. I'm doing that right now with my son. He just finished up this last summer with a 2-year degree at Jefferson College and moves on to Webster. And this has allowed for him to have knocked out all that general education. And now we can start dumping the real money into his education. But my goal then is to get him through without carrying any student loan debt. This is something that we can really be a part of for that population that's interested in the 4-year degree. And again, things like the skills we offer are very important in other fields. Could we have the next slide, please, for the Associate of Fine Arts? So something we've just done in the last few years is start 2 Associate of Fine Arts degrees. These are concentration degrees in music and also in art that support the high number of hours those students need to take in sequential lab type courses. So for anyone working in the fine arts, they need to have a lot of hours in practice, preparation, evaluation, and skills development. And this is specifically targeting those students, either to have somebody with a 2-year degree with a strong focus or a transfer into programs like the Bachelor of Fine Arts program. We have been talking with our transfer institutions to make sure that what we are offering is what those institutions want to see, so that when they come there as juniors, if they're looking for that 4-year degree or beyond in their fine art, that they are able to step seamlessly into those programs. And we also have well-developed programs here in creative writing and theater, though we don't have AFAs attached to those. We can work with students, and we have worked with students who wish to exhibit interest in those who have talents in those fine art fields, so that they can then go on to do great things. And the last slide I have here, we've talked with, the Missouri Chamber of Commerce has talked about what it wants to see in its workforce skill set. And obviously there are some technical skills that they look at, but in the College of Humanities, we try to support things that all employers want, that they can have students with communication skills, the ability to communicate, to speak in front of an audience, the ability to engage in multiple cultures, that they would develop critical thinking skills. You don't just want a robot. If you want a robot, you buy a robot. A human being can make decisions and hopefully think for itself and ask good questions. And then this very important civics demand. The state of Missouri wants to make sure that people have some context for what they want. And one of the things the state of Missouri has asked for all of the institutions of higher education to do is to have students take an exam which is equivalent to the exam you would take if you were becoming a U.S. citizen. because that is actually something that not everybody knows. We want to make sure that people have a background in the history and the legal context, the political context of what it is to be a U.S. citizen. That's always been one of the missions of higher education. That's kind of a quick rundown of the things that are covered in my area. And I will allow for Mary Ann to go next.
All right, and I will take a pause when our 4 associate deans are completed with their presentations for some questions before we move on. So next is Marianne Anglianto, and she is our Associate Dean of Math, Physics, and Technology.
All right, well, thank you everyone for being here. I just want to give some updates about the School of Math, Physics, and Technology. And first I want to start off with some purely college program updates. For the physics, physical sciences, and engineering. For the physical sciences, we would encourage the students to follow the AA track and then transfer to their desired location. But for engineering, we have an AS engineering degree, and we have an articulation agreement with S&T in Rolla. And we also have an engineering technology degree. So these are roles where it's not the engineer and it's not the people who are making the part. We need people who can speak both languages, both the engineering language as well as the manufacturing technician languages. So we have an articulation with Missouri State for that degree. And very exciting news, the first couple phases of the Jefferson College Observatory have been completed. So we have a 16-inch telescope that's operational inside of a 13-foot diameter dome. In the pictures I'll be showing in a minute, it looks kind of small, but we can put 7, 8, 9 people into that dome very comfortably with the telescope. So we've been having monthly, what we call star parties, at the event. You can also contact us if you want to organize a group event specifically to use the observatory. We also have a large patio, concrete patio that was donated by Wholesome Concrete. We're also looking into developing K through 12 programming at the observatory. So from elementary to high school, we're looking at having some programs there. We're also looking at undergraduate research opportunities in astronomy. My colleague Bob Brazel and I were at a workshop last summer, and we did undergraduate research with high school students. The head of my group was an 8th grader named Kiki. So these are opportunities not just for the college students, but potentially for advanced high school students. We also have a computer information systems program. We have 2 degrees right now. We have the computer support option in AAS, as well as the criminal justice cyber forensics option. So this is a new name. It was formerly called cybersecurity, but that was confusing because it's not really a cybersecurity degree. It's more focused on criminal justice. So we just changed that name. And coming this fall, we will have a cybersecurity degree option. And we are working to build up a data center. So that's those cybersecurity classes as well as the computer support classes have a real data center to work with. And we have a new instructor for cybersecurity. Names is Gwen Lee, and she is fantastic. So we are really excited about developing that cybersecurity program. If you go to the next slide, Carrie, you'll see a couple pictures of the observatory. So on the left, you see the dome. Again, it looks kind of small until you walk right up to it. And then on the right, you see kind of the large patio, the observing patio. So people set up their own telescopes on that patio, and we've had a number of events there. It's been very, very exciting to see this project finally come to life. So I also want to talk about some of our dual credit options in our schools. So we've been offering 20-year-long and 4-semester-long college credit classes through Jefferson College, and they're offered at 7 different high schools. So some of the math classes we're offering is Intro Stats, College Algebra, Pre-Calc, Calculus for Business and Social Sciences, as well as Calc 1. And Also, with college as well as dual enrollment programs, we have our automotive program, which is very popular. This last Saturday, we had a service learning opportunity, which was called Oil Change for Veterans. So we gave about 45 veterans free oil changes. We got donations from AutoZone and Napa and local vendors. So that was a wonderful activity for the students. That would involve our ATS high school students as well as some of the college students. And the program is ASC certified, accredited, and we are undergoing our reaccreditation process, which is also very exciting. I wanted to give a shout out to the Computer Integrated Manufacturing program, which is undergoing a name change starting this fall. It will be called Precision Machining Technology, and we made that name change because I don't think CIM really painted the picture of what this program is. We do both manual as well as CNC machining in this program. And I wanted to point out that the second largest industry, second largest industry in Jefferson College is manufacturing. And the median salary for a CNC programmer, which is what our students learn how to do, is $50,000. So if we want a program that we can have our students go to, make a great career, keep them close to home, precision machining technology is where it's at. So if we go to the next slide, we've also got heating, refrigeration, and air conditioning. We have, starting this year, a co-op with Spire, the gas company. They are recruiting students in the fall, and for the next 2 years throughout the program, they will be alternating being in school for 8 weeks and then working full-time for Spire for 8 weeks. And with our ATS program, if the ATS students complete 2 years in that program, they can earn a college installer certificate. We also have propane certification from the Missouri Propane Association. Welding is a very popular program, and this summer, some of the ATS students got to go on a field trip down to Texas with a pipeline company owned by Steve Torrance, who is an NHRA champion and has really taken interest in our program. And moving on, we got one more slide. So metal fabrication is another popular program we have in the ATS. And we had just had a new awning to expand an outdoor learning space for that program. Our carpentry program, we had a great instructor retire, and now we have a new wonderful instructor, Mark Fuchs, and we are working, on the bottom right is a picture of the house we are wrapping up. We've got one more house lot that in that subdivision that we've been building. We're looking for additional land. And the carpentry IRCs, when students take those IRCs and pass them, that actually buys them time if they want to start a union apprenticeship with a Brotherhood of Carpenters. And finally, who doesn't like drones? So digital media program has introduced drone photography into the program, adding to that wonderful program as well. So I will shut up now.
All right, thank you, Mary Ann. All right, and last but not least, certainly, we have Kenny Wilson, and he is the Associate Dean of the School of Science and Health. And then we will come back to Steve's question in the chat as soon as Kenny is done.
So does Mary Ann's overage cut into my 5 minutes, Carrie?
Yes.
Absolutely not. You still get your 5 minutes.
Okay, all right, just making sure. So hello, everyone. I'm really excited about being here. There's lots of really cool stuff going on in the School of Science and Health. I did want to throw in a brief caveat that isn't on my slides, and that is I'm meeting with Melissa Stevens, who is our Global Studies Director, and we have a trip to Germany next May. So if any of your students, probably more specifically your senior graduating students, would be interested in doing an English 191, which is an introduction to German literature. It's an experiential class for 3 weeks over summer intersession, and we'll go to Berlin and Frankfurt and all kinds of cool places. It's really inexpensive. It's going to probably come out to be about $1,500, $1,600 for them to be able to do. You can reach out to me, or we'll have the application information up on our Global Studies page in the next couple of days. Okay, was that okay, Melissa? Is that good? Okay, good. I got Melissa's blessing, so we're good. So we have three specific areas in School of Science and Health. Our science area, which biology, chemistry. Health areas, our bi-level nursing program, HIT, occupational therapy, radiologic technology, physical therapist assistant, and veterinary technology. And we have two excellent, and I didn't add my third, we have three excellent ATS programs in the School of Science and Health. We have a Biomed, Health Services 1 and 2, and we have our new HIT, which is our Certified Medical Administrative Assistant, which we have two wonderful Abbeys, one from DeSoto and one from Festus, rocking those classes this year. So we're excited about that. Next slide, please. So what's new in School of Science and Health? I got the opportunity to talk to a lot of you a couple of weeks ago at the ATS when my friend Alan Walmsley put me on the spot. But we have a new Health Service 2 program, which we moved from the home health aide certificate to a patient care tech certificate, which makes a lot more sense on that nursing pathway from CNA to the bi-level nursing program. They're learning a lot of new skills that are specific for pre-nursing. So it's a really good opportunity for them to transition. Along with that, we are in the process of finalizing a program with Mercy to develop a pathways in nursing. So basically, it's an employment educational cooperative where students are getting the opportunity to learn their nursing education while they're earning at working at Mercy. So it's a benefit for all three of us. The goal is to get students through their nursing education using their A+ and scholarship monies to graduate their nursing with zero debt, plus 2 years of work experience at Mercy, and be able to go into full-time work at Mercy, working on completing their BSN. So the goal is a debt-free BSN, plus you've worked for 2 years, making $60,000 a year, so $55,000 a year. So we have a brand new, with the pandemic, we have not had the opportunity to have an open house with our new Project Lead the Way biomedical science classrooms. Those just opened last January, actually this January, and they're fantastic and they're awesome. Come by, if you guys are on campus, come by and we'll show you all the new things going on at CTE. For those of you that know about our vet tech program, it's been in existence since the 70s. We are in the process, we've just completed expanding a kennel. We are in the process, like literally being demoed as we speak, to renovate the barn classroom. And we're in the early stages of trying to secure the funds to be able to build a brand new on-campus vet tech clinic so that our veterinarian can see more faculty, staff, and community animals and provide learning experiences for our students. So a lot of exciting things going on there. Our OTA program, which we get the sense that a lot of students in the community aren't aware that we have these rehab programs. Was just recently reaccredited for 7 years, which is a pretty big step. So we're excited about our OTA and PTA program. So if you have need any information on that, let me know. We are awaiting final Department of Education approval for us to be able to fully market our Associate of Science in Biology, which would be a huge step for any of your students that are interested in anything from pre-med to, that's my 5-minute timer, pre-med to laboratory sciences to become fantastic people like physical therapists, not that I'm biased or anything, but anybody that's a post-baccalaureate healthcare program, ASB would be phenomenal for them. Also an excellent transition for our pre-pharmacy. If your students are thinking about going to pharmacy or chiropractic school, this ASB would be a great first step to get them moving in that direction. Now I feel like I'm talking really, really fast. So the PEN program, as we've talked about before, really excited about this initiative, and we're hoping that it kicks off and does fantastic. We did get a commitment from Mercy to start a cohort of PCTs this year coming up from the seniors this year. So fingers crossed that everything goes well with that group. And then hopefully this is something we can template in other areas. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to potentially do some other cool things, maybe a pharmacy tech program or other things that we can do that would template this Pathways in Nursing program. Okay.
All right, you made it, Kenny. I didn't even have to jump in. So there was a great discussion in the chat about the cybersecurity program. And Steve, as we get additional information about salaries and opportunities, we'll definitely get that out to you guys. Before we move on with our program, does anyone have any questions for our associate deans over the curriculum updates that they just presented? All righty, well then we are going to go ahead
Carrie?
and move on.
Carrie?
Oh, Kenny, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to have some conversations with, I see Renee on there, with Renee and Steve. If you guys have a situation where you have a future healthcare student that you have some, some questions about pathways and things like that, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I love those conversations. It really, it really kind of energizes me to have those conversations with you about students. So don't hesitate to shoot me an email if you guys have questions about specific students going through a health pathway. And I'm kind of a dork that way. Thanks, Jacqueline. But I would be happy to answer those questions or help you guys kind of figure out if there's a complex situation that you need to work through. So just allowing that service if you need it.
All right, thank you, Kenny. And then we are going to move on to Julie Johns, and she's the director of the Adult Education and Literacy, or AEL program here at the college.
Hello, everyone, and thank you. My name, again, is Julie Johns, and I did have the pleasure of meeting with many of the high school counselors. So this might be kind of a repeat of what you heard before, but a little bit of AEL. It is Adult Education and Literacy. It is a Department of Elementary and Secondary Education funded program. We are the only accredited program in Jefferson County. Our main goal is to really get the basic skills to Missouri adults so they can become productive workers, family members, and citizens. So through the Department of Elementary and Education, as I said, we are 100% funded by them. So that means it is no charge for our students to attend any of our classes or to take any of our standardized testing with the test of adult basic education. However, the students are responsible for the cost of the HiSET exam. The HiSET is the exam of high school equivalency that has replaced the GED in the state of Missouri, as well as 23 other states. And that cost is around $100. However, we do have some partners and some other programs that could help possibly pay for the HiSET. Through DESE, we monitor our attendance greatly. We have to have them sign in, sign out every minute they're with us. We do perform some diagnostic pre-testing. And then the students are required to post-test, another requirement of DESE to monitor how well they are doing. And most importantly, they must unofficially enroll from high school. So we're not, both trying to serve the same group of students. So within those group of students, we only accept adults that are 17 years old or older. Under certain circumstances, we can accept a 16-year-old, but those are very, very few and far between. Our main goals are the majority of our students are here for high school equivalency. We do receive a lot of students that were homeschooled or dropped out. The second biggest avenue for us is we do offer English language learners. Carrie, if you can go back. Okay, anyway, English language learners. That would be anyone who is an adult that English is not their first language. We offer those classes at the Arnold campus right now. And then we offer classes for students that have really need the basic skills, learning to read and write. There are so many adults out there that have just tried to get by in life. And so we do offer classes for that, which is called Read for Life. As well as helping out any students that might have a diploma but just need to improve some academic skills. Next slide. We are located right now at the Hillsborough campus, in the Technology Center, room 305. It has been newly renovated and it's a beautiful classroom, wonderful space. We are also at the Arnold location on the 3rd floor, room 301. Pre-pandemic, we did have a classroom in the Jefferson County Northwest Branch Library, but because of COVID, we are not there right now. And we offer a variety of class times and days. Our typical classes are about 2 hours, 2 days a week. And then we do require that students do some homework online for about 2 hours. We require 6 hours a week in our program. Next slide. A little bit of the process with our adult education and literacy is a student must go through and responsibility back onto the student. They contact us. We set them up for the TABE diagnostic testing. After they finish that testing, then we sign them up for face-to-face orientation. I give all the orientations at this point, and we make sure that the student is able to get into their email and do the virtual part of our classes. And then after that, we are able to put them into a classroom. The biggest question we usually get is, how long do these classes last? And ultimately, it's up to the student. It depends on the diagnostic testing, their skills, their abilities, and the effort that they put in. Sometimes we have some students that'll come in, and I've actually had a student in and out of the entire program within 3 weeks. But then I have some students that have been here for several years. So that is our big question.
All right, you're at 5 minutes.
Okay. So the big part about why Jefferson College AEL is such a great program is because we really do integrate our students with the whole Jefferson College life. Our students are given an ID. They are given the Jefferson College email. They're able to use the bookstore, the fitness centers, and involve in different events and things like that. We work with employment services, with workforce and everything like that. We help them apply for any colleges, any scholarships. I'm trying to rush through there. And we meet students where they are, and we take them where they want to be, whether it be at Jefferson College, a different college, a training program, or getting into the workforce. So finally, we do celebrate our students. Every year we do have a recognition ceremony where they do get to wear a cap and gown and walk across a stage. And we have a wonderful ceremony every year. And I blame Kenny because he took some of my time.
That's all. Everybody gets 5 minutes, no matter what. I promise. I promise. Thank you, Julie. And then we will circle back for questions when we're done with this section. We're going to move on to Christine Bogue, and she has a very long title there, which includes Director of Student Compliance. Christine?
Hi, thanks for being here today. I am Christine Bogue, and I am the Director of Student Compliance. I'm also our Deputy Title IX Coordinator when students are involved in situations. And so what I think you'll see today with these presentations is that we do a lot to support our students academically, and we also do a lot to support our students as a whole and their well-being. And that is one of the areas that my department helps focus on. And so we want to make sure that this is an inclusive environment here on our campus for all of our students, and where they're all respected and empowered to achieve their goals and meeting them where they're at. And we do this through a variety of different means. We do a lot of prevention and education on campus. We also try to promote a culture of, if you see something, say something, or do something. Do something to help support our students. And then we also hold our students accountable if behavior is not in the norms that we expect on campus. Next slide, please. So we have our student wellness initiatives through Vikings Care on the first Tuesday of each month through the fall and spring semester. We ask our campus to wear these t-shirts that have Vikings Care, and we pick a topic based on a campus climate survey on what our students are experiencing. And so it could be anywhere from mental health, suicidal ideations, it could be alcohol and drug use, it could be a variety of different topics. And we do something to help develop life skills, increase those help-seeking behaviors, and overall promote safety for our students and for our campus. We also have a care team. So this is kind of our intervention team on campus. This is where our campus can submit reports or concerns to, and this team helps to identify, assess, and evaluate the overall student well-being and any kind of concerning student behaviors. And our goal with this team is really to connect students with those very specific individualized resources and support to help that student. Next slide, please. Some of the resources that we do have on campus is our free counseling for all of our enrolled students. We offer this through 2 different mediums here. We do have a full-time therapist through ComTree that is on our Hillsborough campus. She can also go to our Arnold Imperial campus as needed. And then this year we started offering free counseling through Central Methodist University's Counseling Center. So their interns that are getting ready to graduate are offering free virtual counseling for our students as well. Next slide, please. Another program that we have here is our Violence Prevention Project. This is a grant-funded project that we received, and that goal is to reduce and eliminate dating violence, domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking. And we know this is happening in our community. We know our students are experiencing this, whether it's off campus or on campus, and we want to support them through that. Our goals within this project are really prevention, victim services, and we do have an on-campus victim advocate that works individually with any student that might have experienced this. And then we also look at our student conduct and law enforcement processes and making sure that those are trauma-informed and that we are supporting our students through those processes. Next slide, please. And then finally, we also have our student conduct office. And so this office is really here designed to help promote accountability and responsibility for our students. And we really think about educational consequences or educational means. How can our students learn from what happened? And we enforce those academic and behavioral standards through our code of conduct, our prohibition policy, and our non-discrimination policy, which includes our Title IX sexual harassment. So thank you guys for your time today. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. And next we have advising and retention. So the next 2 bullets will be combined, and we have Ms. Kim Flora, Ms. Kathy Johnston, and Ms. Brenna Young here to talk about advising and retention.
Hello, everyone. I am Kathy Johnston. I'm the Director of Enrollment and Retention, and advising falls under that umbrella. And as Dr. Harvey Manis indicated in her welcome, we've restructured advising services to a case management model. So we looked to see how we can better support our students. And we looked at the number of students that we have in areas, and we divided our areas into 6. So they don't quite fit the 4 schools because the number of students didn't quite equal out for those schools. So these are the 6 areas of study that we have in our advising structure. So career guidance is kind of for the students that are really trying to decide what their best path is. So we have someone that's kind of dedicated to helping them. Pre-health occupation programs works very closely with Kenny's area in helping those students that are interested in any of our health OC programs. Career technical is more designed for working with Marianne's programs if they're interested in automotive, our new precision program, welding, HRA, all of those career technical to help them make sure that they're staying on path to be able to graduate. And then the next 3, we kind of divided up to where we have our education, early childhood education, psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, kind of all grouped together. And we have an advising specialist that is over those areas and helping those students. And then another grouping is accounting, business, management, economics. Culinary kind of seems like an odd one there, but honestly, many of our culinary students get a business degree, so they work very well hand in hand. And then the last area of study that we have is STEM and humanities. And I know this one probably also sounds kind of like 2 different areas, but it's really working out very well in having somebody that can really work with our students that are interested in engineering, mathematics, technology, and also working with our fine arts students. So those are our areas that we have. And the coordinator of advising services is something that was structured as well, and that's Kim Flora, and she's going to talk a little bit on the next slide about what what our advising specialists do and how we are able to help our students. And then we also have a coordinator of retention services, which is Brenna Young, and she'll kind of talk about how we help students get to all of these resources. So she really works to coordinate getting students to the resources that they need in order to be successful.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Flora. I'm the coordinator of advising services. And so with this realignment, we really are able to have our advisors focus on a particular group of majors or a particular group of students, so they really can, look at those areas and have a better knowledge. So they're covering a smaller amount of majors, so they really get to know those areas and those careers. But the best part is they really get to know their students. One of the major things that we wanted to look at with moving to this model is, instead of students not knowing who to go to or hopping around from person to person, they have a person, they have an advisor that they can go to. And so this same advisor is going to follow them the entire time they're here. So they're going to help them build their schedule and figure out their degree and what classes that they need. But also, while they're here, be able to check in on the student. And if we're getting an early alert or the faculty member may have a concern, they can send that to the advisor, and that same person is going to reach out to that same student, so they can kind of build those relationships as they go through their time here. The advisors also are going to be able to help students with looking at those transfer resources. If they're planning on transferring on, how can they meet that goal? Where are some good opportunities? Or if they're looking at doing one of our more career technical programs, help get them to our enrollment services and help them figure out a workforce path and get employment and continue on that route. So they have, again, those better relationships with the students, but in addition, we're kind of working a little bit more closely with the faculty. So the faculty also know who to go to in their particular area or their program of study if they're needing some additional assistance with advising. And so we're building kind of these teams of advisors and faculty and students to be able to help them while they're here and give them just the best possible assistance. Again, the big goal of this is to try to develop those relationships so that students know where to go if they have questions, whether it's about their degree or their class, or they're needing some extra help, where to go for some resources, or questions about financial aid. So that's really the goal of what we're doing. We see some good things happening, and we're really excited about this. I'll pass it on to Brenna.
Okay, I'm going to talk really fast. So retention, it is my job to help retain our students and have them persist to graduation. So I do help facilitate training for our academic advisors on early alerts. So if there is a concern from a faculty member, they submit an early alert on the student, and then our advisors and myself help connect those students to campus and community resources, because there are many barriers that can affect a student's success. So we are connecting them all the time to resources. I also created and manage a Viking relaunch program that provides additional support for students. We have study skills, time management skills, goal setting, financial aid literacy. We tie it to our Academic Success Center, where students go into the Academic Success Center for tutoring. We encourage peer tutoring. And then there's also a component in that Canvas course on wellness and mental health. And then I also promote early registration to our current students. So every semester now, we are finding ways to try to communicate with them earlier so that there's not a mad rush in January for them to get registered for their classes. And then something new that I will be helping enrollment services with is coordinating some group advising opportunities for our students, and working with our ATS faculty to help streamline and make that process smoother for students in the ATS that are wanting to then come to Jefferson College as freshmen. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kathy, Kim, and Brenna. And speaking of advising, we are going to segue right into project success with Miss Teresa Schwartz.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning especially to the principals and counselors, and thank you for the good work that you're doing at the high schools. I'm Teresa Schwartz. I'm the Director of Project Success, which is a federally funded TRIO program. If you're at all familiar with TRIO programs, we are a student support services program, but we are known as Project Success on this campus. We use those names interchangeably. So you may refer to us as TRIO, Student Support Services, or Project Success. What we do is we work with a very specific population of students, providing intense academic and personal support. TRIO programs are all about degree retention. In our case, we are trying to move students along in order to help them to get to a bachelor's degree. So we focus very heavily on transfer. We do what we call appreciative advising. That simply means that we get to know our students really well. We try to take a very holistic approach with our students, and we have the luxury of being able to spend quite a bit of time with them. And so we not only are doing their academic advising, but we are literally meeting them wherever they are and making sure that they're getting the support that they need while they're on the Jefferson College campus, helping them to make sure they're getting all the resources that they need, whether that is help with their FAFSA, with advising, with making transfer decisions. We really try to kind of be their everything on campus. Everyone who works in the program comes from the background that our students have. So if we could go to the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about eligibility. So they must be enrolled at Jefferson College, and they must be planning to transfer on to a four-year university. And along with that, our students must be first generation, meaning that neither parent has a four-year degree. If a parent has a two-year degree, if they have an associate's degree, the federal government still considers that student a first-generation college student. We also meet with students who are income eligible. So one way to think about that, if they're getting a Pell Grant, that is a good indicator that they will be eligible for Project Success. We also work with students who have a documented disability. We not only do a lot of advising with our students, but we also, we do transfer visits. We take students, we get them onto the four-year campuses so that they can take a look around. We do cultural events. To give you an example, we just did a cultural event to the St. Louis Aquarium in October, and we're planning an event to the St. Louis Symphony for a holiday concert in December. So we do a lot of fun things with our students, as well as doing all of their very intensive advising. Everyone who works in the program comes from a similar background as the students. For example, I'm a first generation college student. I was also low income going into college. One thing that I want to make really clear in my couple minutes here is that these students are going to get kind of almost like a parent on campus. We have the ability to really provide a lot of good oversight to them. The advisors with the new structure are doing a great job in providing a lot of consistency, and we can kind of bump that up a little bit and provide even more oversight to our students. We are actually not allowed to go into the high schools to recruit. So I'm going to take this opportunity to do a little under the table recruiting with the counselors who are here and say, hey, we're here. And you as counselors are allowed to share the news that there's a really great program at Jefferson College for students who may be feeling like they need a little extra help with transfer. So thanks, Carrie, for sharing that. And please reach out to us if you have any questions at all. And thanks very much for taking the time to be with us today.
All right, thank you, Teresa. And I did link her program in the chat if anybody wants to go check it out. And last but not least, I just realized I did not update her name on the slide. Our very own Casey Watson, who is now our assistant registrar.
Okay, hi everybody. I'll be pretty brief. I'm just going to talk a little bit about transfer services, and I know that this presentation will be shared, so I included a link to our transfer resources page on the website. And really, the transfer resources page is going to kind of highlight these 3 bullets. And the first one I'm going to talk about a little bit is transferring to Jefferson College, because I do know that a lot of high schools have dual credit classes and AP courses and things like that for students who are planning to attend Jefferson College and wanting to transfer some of those credits. So if you have any questions about how things transfer, you can always reach out to me. And then I also wanted to give a little bit of an update on Core 42. I know we're all kind of familiar with Core 42. It is, so just to kind of recap a little bit, it is the Core 42 is made up of motor classes, which motor is Missouri transfer. And these are courses that are a guaranteed transfer to any public institution in the state of Missouri. And even some private institutions have kind of jumped on board with that as well. And so with motor and Core 42, the actual Core 42 is made up of these motor courses. And we have a list of those courses on the transfer resources page of our website. But really the easiest way to know if it's a motor course is by looking at the class schedule or the catalog, and there'll be a little stamp showing that it is a motor course. So an update with that is we are actually going to be adding a few more motor courses to that list. So that's exciting. Students will have some more of those courses that are a guaranteed transfer to choose from. And then lastly, university partnerships and kind of articulation agreements. So while we do have Core 42, which is a guaranteed transfer, and our Associate of Arts degree, which is, transfer as well. We do kind of have some partnerships, some unique partnerships with different colleges and universities. So on the Transfer Resources webpage, it will have some really great links out to those transfer pages for those universities and some information on different articulation agreements for in-state, some of the most common in-state colleges that students tend to transfer to, and even some of our out-of-state colleges. And then we also have some information on universities that offer courses or even degrees at Jefferson College. So just for example, Missouri Baptist, UMSL, Central Methodist University. So a lot of really great resources on that page. But if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to me. You will have my contact information. And if you if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Jacqueline, and Jacqueline can definitely, or Jared, and they can connect you to me as well. Thank you, everyone.
We have not let her go very far from our office. She's just across the hall. All right, thank you, Casey. So I am going to go ahead and introduce Christine Platter, and she is the Disability Support Services Coordinator here on campus.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to talk to you a little bit about DSS. So Disability Support Services really is committed to equal educational opportunities for all students. And our job is to ensure equal access to all of our programs and services on campus. That also is for students within the high school or students who attend the ATS. Can you move on to the next slide for me, please? Thank you. So the role of DSS in working with ATS or dual enrolled students is we generally assist and oversee in the implementation of approved academic accommodations for these students. This includes IEP and 504 plans. What we are seeing now and what will continue to happen in the future is that students taking the work keys and career readiness exams also must meet current ADA accommodation guidelines. And so we oversee the implementation and the approval of those accommodations as well. Dual enrolled ATS students who are seeking college credit for fall under the ADA, ADAAA, and Section 504 of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and they are required to complete additional intake procedures with our office in order for accommodations to be awarded. So it's important to tell students who are dual enrolled or ATS students who are receiving college credit and their families that they need to contact our office in order to complete that paperwork before accommodations can be implemented. All final academic accommodation decisions are awarded by myself, the DSS coordinator here at Jefferson College. So what is the role of counselors and principals in this? Essentially, like I said, it's to inform parents and students of the ATS and dual enrolled academic programs that they must contact Disability Support Services in order to request academic accommodations. The law requires students in these programs to self-disclose, so they must contact our office in order for accommodations to be considered. It's also to provide the ATS Special Services rep with a copy of the student's most recent completed IEP or 504 plan. And then you'll need to send updated copies as necessary. There are times where additional documentation will be required from the student and their families. An example of this would be medical documentation or the last completed psychoeducational evaluations. So once a student is brought into the ATS program and they receive their acceptance letter, this flyer goes out to them and their families, and it informs them of what Disability Support Services is, as well as what programs fall under that dual enrolled category. It gives them our contact information and encourages them to contact us. So just some key points. ATS dual enrolled students must self-disclose in order for disability accommodations to be considered. Failure to complete the DSS intake process can result, and it will result in, a delay of accommodation for those students. It's also important to note that not all accommodations received in high school are transferable or appropriate in higher education situations. And students enrolled in ATS or dual enrolled programs are still ensured equal access to all college programs and services. And some of those are including but not limited to the Academic Success Center, peer tutoring, employment services, and of course, extracurricular events and activities on campus. And lastly, this is us. This is my staff. So when yourself or your students or their families contact us, they will be reaching out to either me, the coordinator, Carrie Hayes, our academic support specialist, or Lucia Broadrib, our administrative specialist. Any questions I can answer for anyone?
All right, thank you, Christine, and we will include all of this information in the PowerPoint that we send out as well. And feel free to drop questions in the chat as well for her. All right, we will move on to the library. We have Miss Taylor Humphreys here today.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm very happy to speak today about the library and the role it plays on really any college campus. Partly as just a very valuable resource for students. And in fact, this year we are actually seeing an increase in use of the library over some of our 2019 statistics. We are seeing more people actually coming in physically to use our location, and we are seeing more books being checked out, which is very exciting. But we also need to raise awareness of the services and resources that the library provides for students as they come in. Well, one thing, so today I'm going to be talking about, three of those, so spaces, services, and collections. So I really want to emphasize that the library is not just the stuff, but even also like the physical location. And again, possibly because everything was sort of virtual last year, people seem to really appreciate coming into our physical location this year. And we have a very beautiful modern space where we have all kinds of different study areas for both group work for students and also quiet study. We have bookable rooms throughout the library. We have all kinds of spaces. We have computers that are available and the students can print as well. And we have one of our classrooms in the library for bibliographic instruction that myself and my colleague use to instruct classes about the library. We also have a lot of services that are available. And the library, a lot of this is also available to the community. So in the past, we've had meeting spaces for hosting events, and we hope to continue that again soon. Obviously, in the recent past, that has not been possible. But we also have the ability for students, or really anyone, to be able to ask us questions, questions for librarians. We help a lot of students with like doing their research, with figuring out citation, with evaluating websites to figure out whether they're actually, credible to use. And we offer that in a lot of different ways to students. So we have a chat feature from a lot of our web pages. We have phone number that people can call us at or text us at. We have an email address. People can come in person. So a lot of different ways that students can reach out to us and ask for help if they need it. And we also have, I mentioned this a little earlier, library use instruction, which is really important because we are trying to help students become more information literate. We are helping them figure out how to do research, evaluate websites for reliability, and to use our resources to the best of, to make the best of, those that are available to them. And speaking of that, we do have a lot of different collections that are available to students. So we have a lot of electronic services. We have ebooks that are available to them. We have databases, which can range from being very general to being also specific to the fields they're researching in. And there's also ones that are referenced, so things like encyclopedias and dictionaries. And there's also those that are for streaming video. So we have a lot of educational videos that are available that they may be seeing in their classes, but also that are just available for them to find for their own, research projects or their own, edification. And then we also have a lot of physical items. So we have the normal things that people normally associate with the library. So things like magazines, newspapers. We also have popular books, DVDs. We have the main collection upstairs, which provides a lot of research material for the students. And we have things like historical documents and government documents. And we have, I think I may have mentioned ebooks as well, but there's also books that can be shipped to us from other libraries throughout Missouri. So they have access to a lot of things. We also have electronics that we are more recently making available to students. So we have laptops and webcams and headphones and things like that. And students can actually check out laptops for their entire semester here. So they're available, throughout their whole semester. They can use them for classes and things like that. So again, we have all kinds of things that we're making available to students, from just being able to come in physically and have a quiet place to study, or to ask us questions about things. We're coming into their classrooms. We're providing materials for them. So really, the main thing is, as much as possible, we just want to raise awareness of the library for students. So lots of ways you can contact us as well. We have all of those available from the website, which I believe was nicely shared in chat. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Taylor. And moving right along to student development with Ms. Brandy Galloway.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. My name is Brandy Galloway, and I'm Student Development Coordinator. And one of my jobs is to oversee the student clubs, and I am the Student Senate advisor. And so right now we have 12 clubs that are active. We have the Active Minds, and all this is also on our website under Campus Life. And our Active Minds talks about keeping mental health issues on college and making it more normal to talk about. And we have our Black Student Union. We have JC Writing Club, who has actually published a book, so that was exciting. The Legion of Gamers, and they host many gaming events, and that's pretty popular. We have our LGBTQ community, our NAFME, which is for our music educators. Navigators is our Christian organization on campus. And we have Phi Theta Kappa, who is our honor society. And we are getting ready in the spring to implement another honor society that will lead up to Phi Theta Kappa. A little bit lower GPA level is required. And then we have our psychology club, those who are just interested in psychology or who are taking those courses. We have our SMNEA, which is the Club for Future Teachers, and our Student Nurse Club for those that are in the nursing program. And then lastly, the Student Senate, which these particular senators, they will join, and then they can join our different institutional committees. So they will be the student representation on those committees. And what's awesome is they do actually want their opinion, and they do want to know, what do the students want? So that's a very cool way to be engaged. And then we also do many community service projects through Student Senate. Currently, we're doing the toy drive that we will pass along those toys to the Hillsborough Food Pantry. And then we're also doing an Adopt a Family program, which we're doing right now, that helps students were nominated that need some help during the holidays. And they provide us with their list, and the clubs, these different clubs each get a student. They shop for them, wrap the presents, and they will pick it up during finals time. So that's also cool. And that's what we have right here. We need their feedback, and we want their feedback. And then they also participate in Club Spirit Day, which is, we have one in fall and spring. And this highlights all, not only the clubs, but the resources on college. We have a huge day. We have free food and giveaways, and usually some activity. And it's a great day, and it's a great time for the students to walk around and kind of get the feel what is offered here. And we have a day of service through one of our committees that day we serve on campus and off campus, and students, faculty, staff, we all participate in that, which is a great way to give back to the community. And we host a fall trunk or treat community event, which we did this year, and we had 1,000 attend. So each club has a different trunk, and then the various different departments can participate as well. So this, as we know, keeps them engaged, which keeps them retained and then ultimately successful. Next slide, please. And then why do they want to get involved? It's a great way, to meet new people, gain invaluable experience, make connections, help others, and it's going to look great on those employment resumes and your college transfer applications. One of our committees is also working on a way to track all those volunteer hours, and then you would have a transcript. It would be included on your transcript, and you'd have a separate list to be able to provide to employers or transfer colleges for scholarship opportunities. So this is just a great way for them to get involved. Another thing I kind of do that I just wanted to brush over is orientation, student orientations, and we are revamping that process right now too. So it'll be called Viking Ready Orientations, and we're trying to develop a great product that we've also surveyed the students to see how long do they want to be in it and what do they really want in this. So if you need any information, I know she's put that in the chat, and I appreciate your time and all your hard work with these students. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brandy. And we are going to move on to Ms. Holly Lincoln, and she is the director of Jefferson College Arnold.
Well, good morning from Arnold, Missouri, all the way here at this beautiful campus up here in the northern part of the county. So some of you I know, I'm Holly Lincoln. I'm the director of Jefferson College Arnold. The building is a combination of an academic building and in a one-stop shop of student services as well too. We have 16 classrooms, 8 of which are considered what we call computer classrooms, which are used for students in various subjects. We have the Associates of Arts classes, Associates of Arts in Teaching, and we're even starting to offer a few more of our Associates of Fine Arts classes here, which is really cool. We have 3 science labs available for biological and physical science, as well as chemistry. We include, like I said, we are truly a one-stop shop. We have services available to our students from enrollment services, admissions, advising. We have that for our students here at the main front desk. If you could go to the next slide. Some other services we offer is we try to have everything that is at Hillsborough, also at Arnold. So we have a smaller bookstore. We have a computer lab. I think one of the cool things we do have is we have a home for a couple of our 2+2 universities that we partner with. We have Central Methodist University, and as well as MOBAP, but that's not all. We have UMSL that comes to Jefferson College Arnold, as well as several of our transfer schools who will come at least once, if not more, a semester, put up tables tables in our lobby and have an opportunity to meet with our students. So we've had Webster, Lindenwood, St. Louis University, you name it, we've had them in our building, and it's really nice to have them be a part of our students' experiences here. We also have other services as well. We have the testing center, academic success center. We have a police department located on campus for campus safety. We also have a new thing that was just added this semester, which is a food mart. Arnold did not have a food option for students for a while, and now we do. So we do have a services available to that as well. We offer other classes and continuing education for our community, as well as adult literacy program here at the Arnold campus. We are a one building, 3-floor facility that offers all of this. So if a student is looking to maybe take classes at Arnold, maybe one location, not as big of a campus, we have that option here for them. The next slide is a picture of the Jefferson College Arnold team. The top picture, of course, is myself. I'm Holly Lincoln. I'm the director of the building. Stephanie is our newest member. She is a full-time enrollment services assistant. And the last person on there is Michael. He's our part-time assistant. So we're here to help you if you need anything. If you have any questions about Arnold, don't hesitate to give me a call, or you can email me at hlincoln@jeffco.edu. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Holly, I think you have the record for the quickest presentation.
I usually say I'm going to take 30 minutes, and I decided today I was going to get through it so they could get to the other stuff.
All right, thank you. And next we have Jenna Schwartz, Student Services Specialist, to talk about workforce and employment services. And shout out to Jenna for the PowerPoint today and formatting everything for us.
Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow Holly Lincoln, of all people, but I will sure give it my best shot. So workforce development and employment services is actually 2 offices we combined recently in the past couple of years, just to streamline those employment resources for the campus. So the workforce side provides continuing education courses for learners in need of retraining or want to go through occupational advancement, to make learning a lifelong process, or if they want to maybe shift their career focus and learn a new skill. We have a lot of non-traditional students who are going into the workforce as something, maybe they were an accountant for 15 years and now they want to go into something in nursing. So it's a good opportunity for those who want to get in quick. You can finish our programs in less than a year and then get out and get into the workforce. So the employment services side is still that when you think of career services, we still offer those typical resources like resume building, job search strategies, going through your application with you, helping you find a job and apply for that job. Next slide, Carrie, I think I'm ready. Okay, so just to go a little bit deeper into our services, like I mentioned, we offer a variety of non-credit courses in career training and professional development with flexible learning options and formats. High school students in particular have really benefited from our exploratory programs like CAMO and Healthcare Heroes, which are multi-week programs that take them through different positions in either the trade if it's CAMO or the healthcare career field if it's Healthcare Heroes. So each week they learn a different trade or healthcare occupation, maybe if they know that that's kind of the field they want to work in, but they're not sure maybe what they would click with or what they would want to specialize in. And we also, if you could go back, sorry, Carrie. And so still, again, that kind of typical, reviewing resumes and application materials. We also do job posting and promotion for employers, which I'll talk a little bit on the next slide. And a big thing we do is organizing and hosting those career-related events and networking events, making sure that not just we're catering to students, but catering to our local employers as well. Okay, now we're good. Okay, so our resources is one of them is College Central Network, which is our online job board where we post open job positions that are shared with us. Currently, there are over 1,700 employers registered in our system. And then I post, I think last month it was over 150 jobs, but on average, I post about 100 jobs a month. And this resource is not just for students and alumni members of Jefferson College, but it's for employers and community members as well. And another resource we offer is the Career Closet. So the Career Closet is a business and professional clothing resource that's housed in our office. Those who don't have access to careerwear are welcome to come by and browse, and they can take whatever they like at no cost to them. The goal of the Career Closet is to give students the opportunity to go into an interview with confidence and not feel as if what they're wearing or the ability to get a job is determined necessarily by just their appearance. So, and on the next slide this was a labor of love. Those who are familiar with the Career Closet know that it was overflowing for about 2 years, especially during COVID. We got in a lot of donations and it was a great problem to have. But in the past week, my team and I and a lot of really great people on campus came together to clean everything out, get it organized. So now you can actually walk in it and you can go through it. And so it's just been a really great resource for, again, not just students, but community members as well to come through.
All right, and I apologize for my deficiencies advancing the PowerPoint slide. Thank you, Jenna. And next up we have Carrie Schmidt, who's our residential life manager in Viking Woods.
Hi, everybody. I will be talking about our student housing on campus. We do have apartment style living here in Viking Woods. Most of our rooms are 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, kitchen, living room apartments. Each student has their own individual bedroom, but do share a bathroom with one student and kitchen, living room with all of their roommates. Our 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom are very limited and usually accommodation only. So this is kind of how they are laid out. Each apartment has their 4 individual bedrooms. All of the furniture is it comes with it, so they don't have to worry about bringing a bed, bringing dressers and anything like that. They can decorate it however they want to. All furniture is provided, and 2 bedrooms on each side of the apartment share a bathroom. These are some of the shared spaces. Along with the bedrooms, everything comes furnished in there. So each apartment has 2 couches, a side table, and a coffee table, and then there's chairs at the table as well, and the table is affixed to the wall, so they don't have to worry about moving it around and making it fit. Everything fits well. All the appliances are in there. The only thing we do not provide for students are a microwave. So this is just a list of everything that's provided in each room. They are twin beds, twin mattress, nightstand, dresser, desk, chairs, seating for 4, the tables, the refrigerator, dishwasher, electric, and the table and chairs. These are some of the amenities that we have in housing. So we do have a clubhouse that has some seating, a TV. You can come in, watch TV, hang out with people. We also have different things that can be checked out, like vacuums, plungers, games. Our laundry room is accessible to students 24/7. They have their own key code, along with the study lounge that has computers and internet capability. And then outdoors, there are barbecues, picnic tables, a sand volleyball court, a basketball hoop, and our residents have their own parking, so they don't have to worry about fighting for parking every day. They have their own parking. And then we have lots of different events each year, and they change from year to year. This year, we've done a couple cookouts, some games, paint nights. We had a Halloween party. We had s'mores. They kind of had a fall bash and had a big fire and things like that, and roasted hot dogs and s'mores and things like that. And it kind of just depends on, some students will tell us what they want, and we might do that. So these are kind of some of the things that we have. And then this is the pricing. So for the single room, which is the 1 bed space, and the 4-bed unit is $21.30 a semester and $11.85 for the summer term. And then the private room is $26.75 a semester and $14.90 in the summer. The rent includes all electric, water, sewage, trash, recycling, and Wi-Fi. And these are some of the extras that we have on our campus up here. The Jefferson College Police Department is housed in our Viking Woods apartments. We also have housing staff, which include myself, our coordinator, and our RAs as well. So someone is here 24/7. So if anything ever happens or anybody needs help, we have a very safe environment with someone always available. And any of our other information is listed on our website that's listed below.
All right, thank you, Carrie. And now next up, we have our Student Financial Services team, our 3 financial aid advisors, Carla Croson, Mandy McKay, and Tori Thomas.
Okay, so like Carrie said, there are 3 advisors, and while we can all help any student, we do have areas of specialty. So we're going to run through those really quickly today, give you our contact information, our office contact information as well. So my name is Carla Croson again, and I help students who have been selected for verification of their FAFSA by the Department of Education. It can be an easy process. Sometimes it cannot be an easy process. So we are certainly here to help with that, but I do kind of lead that process in our office. I also help students who have extenuating circumstances. So professional judgment is something we're talking a lot about this year. This is for students and their families who maybe have had a big financial change in their life. So those 2020 taxes that are coming up on the next FAFSA are maybe not appropriate and not really representative of what their current income situation is, perhaps due to job loss, marital status change, a variety of things. So that is something that we can look at with the student to try and assess them and see if that's something that will work for them. I also work with our dependency override students. So many of the counselors will be familiar with these students. These are all of our homeless youth, any students who have been in foster care and a guardianship, or have any other extenuating circumstances that maybe they're not living with a parent any longer and are kind of out on their own. So I do assist with those students. I've emailed many of you about those students, so and we'll continue to do so. And that's really where my specialty lies. So I'm going to turn it over to Mandy and let her give you her rundown.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Steve. So my specialty, I guess, is in scholarships. So all of the institutional scholarships that we offer at Jefferson College, that is where one of my areas are. And then the other thing I do is the state aid program. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the A+ program. If your students have questions, that's me. I also work with the Bright Flight students and our Access Missouri grant. And honestly, if you ever have a student who has questions, I know I've talked to a bunch of you, but you can always reach out to me for that stuff. Oh, and the scholarship application is on the website. Just heads up. All right, Tori, your turn.
Hello, I'm Tori Thomas, and my specialties are participation and attendance. If we have a student that is not going to class and they have financial aid, I am the one who will take away their money, but we return it if they start going to class again, so no worries. And then my other specialty is CAP program of study. So they will, we make sure the student is taking classes that pertain to their degree program. If they are not, we will adjust down their aid accordingly, but they are also able to make changes with their advising specialists as well. My email and my phone number is on there, and it was nice to see everyone today. Thank you.
So we wanted to just give you guys a little bit of heads up so that if you are working with your students who plan to go to college after graduating high school, we have 2 FAFSAs that are open right now. The first one is the 21-22, and it is for the summer 2022 semester. Sorry, it sounds so weird. They need to complete the 21-22 FAFSA, and that's going to include the 2019 tax information. The 22-23 FAFSA, sorry guys, I'm going to stumble over this, is for students who are rolling in fall of 22, spring of 23, and summer of 23. And that will be the 2020 tax information. And like Carla said, I know that right now parents had some adjustments with losing work due to the pandemic. So if they did have that stuff, they can always reach out to us in regards to that professional judgment. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And next up, we have Ms. Connie Nash, and she's our testing coordinator at the college.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. A lot of you have already been introduced to me through our placement testing. I've partnered with many of you and trained you to administer the AccuPlacer, which is our placement test. So we do offer the AccuPlacer here at Jefferson College. Right now, the AccuPlacer covers our reading and our mathematics, and then we also align our writing for a writing appeal if students have not had a writing class in a while, and then we also have our closed exam, which is kind of the reading challenge. If they have taken the AccuPlacer reading and they fell within 5 points of the cutoff, then we do have that reading challenge that can be offered after their second attempt at that AccuPlacer reading. We also offer the entrance exams for many of our programs here at the college. The OTA, PTA, Rad Tech, and Nursing. Right now, they're all taking the HESI A2 exams. The OTA, PTA, and Rad Tech are taking the HP HESI, and then Nursing for LPN, they have the A2, and then there's the mobility exam for students who need to merge into the RN program. We also offer certifications for our programs here. So we have a Pearson center that we're a satellite center for Pearson. A lot of our students who are in our computer program takes the CompTIA A+ certifications through us. We offer the post certification for our police academy, the ASC Prometric, the students who are working in oil time and in our automotive program, they take their ASC certifications. And then we offer the EPA certifications for our HVAC programs. We do offer CLEP here. Any of the CLEP exams that are online through CLEP, we do offer here. And basically the CLEP saves time, not money, but students can complete those exams and get college credit and maybe not have to take a course that would take them 16 weeks to complete. We also offer our exit exams here. So right now, when COVID hit us, we had to transition from requiring students to take them on campus. So one of our exit exams is our ETS EPP exam, and we went to an unproctored online platform for that so that students were able to complete these at home. This was a benefit to the students. So, we are restructuring, trying to look at which programs absolutely need an exit exam and which programs already have certifications, because we don't want to make an exit exam a stepping stone to graduation. So we are looking into some alternatives for that. So when COVID hit us, we had to look at some opportunities to work from home, and we started doing some Zoom proctoring. We started this actually with our placement exams so that we can continue to enroll students while we were off campus. And then it progressed into this fall. We decided to pilot this to all students. So our Zoom proctoring, students can contact the testing center a minimum of 5 business days prior to an exam due date. There is a $25 fee for a 2-hour testing block. And then if they would schedule within 2 business days, there is a $5 reschedule fee. But basically, they contact us, they let us know that they're interested in Zoom proctoring. We send them a form to fill out and, of course, an agreement that they agree to follow all the guidelines of Zoom proctoring. And then we also send them the qualifications or requirements that they need in order to accomplish their Zoom proctoring session. It has become a little bit of a complication because I know the high schools issue Chromebooks, and Chromebooks and Zoom proctoring do not get along. So we do send out and let them know that they do need a Windows or a Mac-based computer, and then they also need that webcam, microphone, and fast internet connection. So that enables us to, when we meet up with them for their Zoom proctoring, we can check their area, we check their ID, we make sure they are who they are, and then we make sure they have the materials they need in order to complete the exam. Okay, Carrie, next slide. So this is just our hours here at Hillsborough and the Arnold location. So Hillsborough is Monday through Friday, and Arnold is only Monday through Thursday. And then there's also Saturday hours available. We usually have one Saturday a month unless it's midterms and finals, and then we go to 2 Saturdays that month to incorporate for those exams. Next slide. And then this is our contact information. So you can go to our website. We have a variety of other exams we offer. Like Julie said earlier, we also offer the HiSET. So the students that go through our AEL program take their HiSETs with us as well. That's all I have.
All right on time, Connie. So thank you. And then last but certainly not least of this resource part 2 is Dr. Richard Stevenson in our Academic Success Center.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on the Academic Success Center. What we do is, in our name, we're committed to the academic success of all of our students, and we see our role as very important in the retention and persistence of all of our students. So go to the next slide, please. Please know that we have an Academic Success Center not only at our Hillsborough campus in our Technology Center, first floor of the Technology Center, but we also have an Academic Success Center at our Arnold campus as well. So on the 3rd floor, it's a room, we share a room with the Testing Center, room 310. We have a writing instructor and also someone who can help students who maybe didn't do as well as they would have liked to have done on the AccuPlacer test. She has resources for them to help them do better when they retake the test. So that's room 310 and also 312 at our Arnold campus. We have a math and science lab where students can walk in and get help, no appointment necessary. Next slide, please. So this is just a quick tour of our Hillsborough Academic Success Center. First of all, know that all of our rooms in Academic Success Center at Hillsborough and Arnold have computers that are linked to printers. So students can come in and do some work. If they're over on this part of the campus, or if they're on the 3rd floor, they can come in. It's open to students. They can come in and print something and do some computer work. This particular lab is for students. They can come in and work, but if they need specific help about some of their computer classes, the higher level classes, they can come in this room and get help. We have it staffed in the afternoons and evenings with a person who can help them with those classes. Next slide, please. Our other labs are the following. We have a writing lab staffed with professional instructors that work here and teach here at Jefferson College, and they can help students with formatting the paper, proofreading the paper, or help them get started with their paper before they turn it in. So we always recommend students have a professional person look at their paper before they turn it in, because the chances are they'll get a better grade. Also, we have an online writing lab as well, where students can send papers to instructors for them to review, usually give them about 2 days. If a teacher is on staff, or is actually not on staff, but is on duty, that's the word I want to use, is on duty, they can actually have live chat with a professional instructor. We have a math lab, which is also staffed with professional instructors, and they can help students from anything from beginning algebra all the way up to the higher level courses, such as all the calculus classes and differential equations, linear equations. All of those classes, students can get help by, again, walking right in. There's no appointment necessary. Our Foundations lab has a couple of roles. The Foundations lab helps students, again, with the prepare for the AccuPlacer. If they didn't do well on the AccuPlacer reading and math exams, they can come to the Foundations lab, which is staffed also with professional teachers. We have a writing teacher, reading writing teacher, and also we have 2 math teachers. Our reading writing teacher is working with high school students here on campus who attend the ATS, Carrie Technical School, and she's helping them to become reading proficient. So if they want to go on to college here at Jefferson College, they want to and get their degree in automotive, their associate degree in automotive or HVAC, they can enroll because they've shown reading proficiency. The Foundations lab will also help students, again, we have 2 math teachers there, and they will help students anywhere from beginning algebra. One of our math teachers can go as high as calculus 2. So all in between. So students, again, are welcome. Go back, please, one more. Yeah, then our science lab, which is my favorite, and that's where my office is. You can go into the next slide now. Here students can come in and get help with chemistry, any of the biology classes, physics. We have Dr. Bob Brazel here every Wednesday, and he's my STEM man. Anything science, technology, math, engineering, he can help. Anatomy, physiology, and our crown jewel is the anatomized tables. If you're ever over this way, you've got to see it. It's a 3D table with the images of 2 men, 2 women. It's all 3D. We also have a dog and a cat. And we can isolate all the body systems, and the students can work with this table to help them prepare for their lab exams. And we also have candy, which is a big attraction. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Richard. Okay, so that concludes the second half of our resource presentation. So if anybody has any questions at this point, please feel free to unmute or to mention those questions in the chat. All right, well, we will go ahead and move on. And luckily, she's always early. So Connie Kuchar is here with us, and she's our coordinator of high school outreach.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I couldn't join you earlier. I was in class. Just a few quick updates for all of you. We are going to host Early College Academy at Arnold again this coming year. And for those who are not familiar, it is a pretty rigorous 2-year program. The classes are classes that will lead to the AA degree. They include honors courses. They do include some classes at the Arnold campus, and then also classes that are completed online, because what we try to do is allow students to begin their day at the high school on that first period and then come to our campus, get some interaction with the faculty and with one another, and then they can return to campus in the afternoon to finish out their high school day. And I know that's really important for certain classes that they need to get in while they're still juniors and seniors. There is some individualization with this program if the high school allows it. For instance, one thing, we did have a couple students actually, that as an elective, that's one of their options in their senior year, chose to do a microbiology class, and we only offer that in the afternoon. So they were far enough along in their high school program that missing a couple of days out of their high school curriculum wasn't going to hurt them, and so they got permission to do that. So we work very closely with the high school counselors and the students to ensure we're getting them the classes they need and want as much as possible. We hope to plan to have a draft schedule available on our website, and I posted the link there by early December, hopefully December 1st, and it will be subject to change depending on what the situation is with our faculty, and also with, if we want to change anything up a little bit with scheduling. We're talking about some different options, but it will give you an idea of what the program includes. And then there will also be an application out there, a new one for this coming cohort. And we usually try to get those by February 1st if we can. I think last year we had to extend it a little bit because of COVID and various reasons. But we have definitely spots for 4, but we can rearrange things and make it open up to 10. So if you have some students who are ready for a challenge, I would encourage you to check that out, encourage them to check it out. And we look forward to the applications. So next slide. All right, so the next thing is the Early College Advisory Meeting. So we're only hosting that once a year because we're doing the Principal Council Workshop in the fall. In the past, we've had it in early February, so I'm hoping that's a good thing. You can put in the chat if you think that's good. Morning or afternoon, I think in the past we've always had it in the morning. That seems to work better for everybody to start your day here at the college. And then a day of the week. And I didn't think about this until just now. Would we want to go ahead and have an on-campus meeting or a Zoom meeting? So if anybody has any thoughts now, you can unmute or put something in the chat for us.
And we will also be sending out a survey after this meeting, and so we can include the early college advisory meeting options in that survey as well.
Right, and in the past, what we've done is a doodle poll, so we can send that out even separately, or I can provide the link for that, Carrie, with the survey.
Thank you.
Okay, and last slide. All right, so we have some more transitions coming. Jacqueline has stepped into the early college coordinator role. Casey Dudley has moved on to assistant registrar. So we're going to do some other changing, but I think it should be pretty smooth. I am going to go back to full-time teaching in the spring. I'll still be around the college and able to help in any way I need to, but I'm looking forward to just focusing on my classes and my students. So Jacqueline's going to really take over a lot of the day-to-day things that you would have sent to me, questions you would have asked of me, or the students would ask. We will also be hiring, hopefully soon, a new ATS director, and that person's going to have kind of that big picture overview and oversight for the early college program, be kept in the loop of any issues that are coming up, and deal with them as needs to be dealt with. They will also be taking over the responsibility that Alan Walmsley has been handling so well the past few years, as far as dealing with our NACEP accreditation and dealing with the coordinator, pay, the MOUs, and those sorts of things. So that's all I've got. Any questions for me? Okay, well, thank you.
All right, and look at this. We are ahead of schedule here. So again, thank you all for coming today. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up our workshop? Okay, so I am going to go ahead and we will send a follow-up email within the next day or so and send you out the presentation. I'll put the links to the different departments, and then we'll also send out a follow-up survey to see what we want to build on for next year's workshop. Again, thank you all for being here with us this morning. We greatly appreciate your service to Jefferson County students, and we appreciate all that you do. Thank you.